with the total volume of biosphere. So we can see it's quite small. And in fact, the left-hand side diagram shows the volume of water, which is even smaller than air. So we can see both water and air is a mandatory, resource for us, which is not much compared to the total, sphere, the what you call this, the biosphere. So that means this resource we have to safeguard. So that's why we talk about this air quality or water quality management in that context. Now, in addition to giving air for us the life, it also contribute to, in a way, its own pollution, because atmosphere is a prime mean for spatial diffusion of pollutants. So most of the pollutants from the source to the receptor is basically through air. Of course, we have water also, but through air. So therefore, it also contributes to air pollution as a media, and also it accumulates. So it become a storage for air pollutant too. So therefore, in the context of air pollution, air also play a role there. So that's also an important aspect to be understand. Now we got clean air. The issue is the clean air is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. It's a mixture of gases, and we know that mean that you can't feel it. So clean air you can't see, you can't feel, because it's colorless, and odorless and tasteless. So only way we can feel fundamentally is when it get polluted. So polluted air we can feel, but not the clean air. But then there are other ways through which we can really, feel clean air. One is basically the what you call blue skies. When the air is clean, the sky become like a visible, like a blue sky, more visible with clean air. So that when you see a clean air or rather blue sky, we can, think that, or we can interpret that our air is clean. But it's not 100% correct. That's also I will not highlight. But then that's one of the indicators. When you are clean, what you call these blue skies, we feel is clean air. Then of course another aspect is we have to remember that there are also holds clouds through which we get this water cycle and so on. And clouds, the moistures are also visible. So therefore we can see air in a way when we have clouds also. But then most of the time what we see in the air is the pollution. But then when you look at the air pollutants, again, there are many air pollutants which are also colorless and odorless. That's the danger we have. Sometimes we think that it's clean, it's not, because it's odorless and colorless. We don't see, we don't feel, but still the air can be polluted. So that's another, what you call mystery there, basically, whether we can think or we can say that the air is clean or not. It's very complex phenomena, very difficult to, say whether air is clean or not. Secondly, this air pollution occurs not only by anthropogenic sources, like man-made one, but also by natural causes. And therefore, you can't say the air pollution is due to man, because it happened many years, millions of years ago. And there are many like severe disasters due to air pollution. And some of the mass extinctions are attributed to air pollution. So therefore, air pollution is part of the natural phenomena. So you can't just blame, of course, it's aggravated more by human activities, but it's also part of the natural phenomena. And some of the mass extinctions could be attributed to air pollution. For example, these are just kind of, the stipulation. For example, the extinction of this dinosaurs, for example, is attributed to the release of methane from those trapped in the soil. So that's air pollution. And also some of these mass extinctions are related to the emission of other gases, like these the other natural phenomena. This also contribute to some of these mass extinctions. So therefore, this air pollution hazard were there even before the human exist. But of course, with the human existence, especially with this industrial development, we have a more severe disasters. So when you look at the air pollution, as I said earlier, it's a very complex phenomena because there are many different type of sources of air pollution, both man-made and natural causes. Variety of pollutants, there can be thousands of different pollutants, especially chemicals, there are many. Then the dispersal mechanisms is very complex. It can go even across countries. We had the transboundary pollution, for example. Sometimes it will not, polluted the nearby community, but it will pollute maybe far away communities. So that type of phenomenon or dispersion mechanism can happen. And of course, there are different adverse effects for the health, environment, biodiversity, and different impacts. So it's a complex problem. So one way is to see how we have managed this as a mankind on this complex problem. These are some examples. We know the planetary boundary, which indicate the capacity of the biosphere to tackle some of the challenges. I just highlighted two cases which are linked to the air pollution. Atmospheric aerosol loading, that is basically particulate emission into the atmosphere, which is like here it's shown the level of understanding. Basically, if it is green, that means we have handled it properly. Red means we have already passed the boundary that's in the high risk area. Yellow means it's an increase in risk. It can go to a red area, so we have to be mindful. For example, climate change is like that. But we can see there are certain phenomena where we don't know the boundary or we don't know the effects. So these two areas, the atmospheric aerosol loading, its impact on the environment, the health is yet fully known or yet to know, and also the novel entities due to chemical pollution. And you know that some of the chemicals, in fact, is part of our life, like what we use with maybe the body, sprays and mosquito coils and many other chemicals we use day-to-day life. These are unknown chemicals, so that their impact on air quality and the corresponding health and impacts are unknown. So those two areas you can see here, which are boundary yet to quantify, mean still we are not able to figure out how these could impact upon the environment and the health. Now, one example for this case, this atmospheric aerosol is, this what you call this global dimming concept. It was there for years, but then this came up with this 9/11 attack, where the during the few weeks after the 9/11 attacks, most of these domestic air flights basically were prevented or cancelled, and within a couple of weeks, there's an observation that the air quality is improved, and the aerosol loading came down, and the sky become blue. With that, there are more radiation came into the surface, so that the temperature risen by 0.5 degrees within couple of weeks in US. That's what you call the global dimming. Basically, having air pollution, especially aerosol in the atmosphere, prevented basically it's a negative effect on global warming. It's what you call global dimming, so that it has a positive impact on global warming. That global warming has decreased with the air quality issue. But of course, the outdoor air quality or this aerosol issue for health is more critical. So that having air pollution in the atmosphere, of course, have a negative impact, but it had a positive impact on the global warming concept. And in fact, only in the recent maybe 10 years that this effect has been now included in the climate modeling which are now part of this estimations. This global dimming concept is now indicated to global warming in predicting future global warming concept. Basically mean that if we reduce the air pollution, there be relatively higher what you call the positive impact on global warming because of the more solar radiation can come into the earth. So that's just a area where we can see how complex the issues are, and still we are learning on that. Then I just want to quickly show some of the studies we did in Sri Lanka, some of the studies on air quality issues, indoor quality, outdoor air quality. This study, what I'm showing here, is done in estate sector, household, especially due to its cooking, air quality issue in the cooking. So we measured around 70 household, the indoor quality in the kitchen, where the most of the family members usually live in the kitchen because of the indoor heating requirement. So in this study, it shows that only 2 households out of 70 were below the permissible level of particulate matter PM 2.5. Most of the households, the kitchens are much higher in emission, indicating the unsuitability of to live. So this shows the impact of air quality basically in household is one of the critical issue. Here basically represent the rural sector. We did another study in urban sector. There we did the study indoor outdoor both together in urban households. This is just one data set. So this indicate the during the 24-hour period, rather I think 12-hour period, the indoor quality, outdoor air quality just outside the household. Now you can see the PM10 here. The concentration is always higher than Sri Lankan standard. That's 100 microgram per meter cube, as well as WHO standard, which is 25 average. And you can see the peaks here come in the morning traffic, afternoon traffic, and also maybe daytime. So we can see basically coincide with the transport. So we can see the transport sector is one of the contributor, but of course it's not only transport sector, the other sectors also contribute. So but transport sector would be one of the key. We also did the same time the indoor air quality, the same household. This shows the indoor air quality. We can see in that case it coincides with the outdoor, plus there are additional the sources. We usually look at while we are measuring the data, we also look at the amount of what you call these activities within the household, whether they are cooking, they are cleaning, and so on. So here we can see there are multiple sources. Some are due to outdoor air pollutants infiltration into the indoor, so that it's ambient one. But then on top of that, there are other sources which are originated within the household. So therefore, usually indoor air quality is more severe. Indoor quality degradation issue is more severe compared to the outdoor. So here we can see even this case, the average even the concentrations are much higher than the earlier one. So therefore, indoor air quality has to be considered more seriously, which is not the case even today, because still we are trying to finalize the indoor quality guideline, and very few emphasis on this. Then also we did some studies on mosquito coil burning, for example. This again, these are for short period, like 10 hours. We can here it shows that again 2 cases. One, keeping the window open. That's where we have this red, the larger concentration, quite high concentration, where the average concentration within 10-hour period is 135 microgram per meter cube, which is higher than our standard, local standard. And also when you look at the open the window, then the emission levels quite reduced, become 59, 135 to 59, around 1/3. But of course, when you have mosquito issues, we want to usually close the window. But then we have an impact on air pollution, indoor pollution, when we have mosquito coil burning within that period. So therefore, mosquito coil is also another source which pollute the environment. We also did a study open burning outside the like just around 10 meters outside the kitchen or the house. and then measure outdoor and indoor air pollution both. So we can see here not only outdoor, that is the dash line, which is the highest one, but the blue one shows the indoor, the inside the kitchen. Also, we get a peak. So when you burn, the outdoor polythene or maybe other burning material, that's also contribute to indoor air quality degradation issue. So that's again another indicator of a source we have to be mindful. Then also we look at the incense stick burning, similar study results. Of course, it's below the local standard, but above the WHO guideline. So that's also another. Now this is just a 3-hour period, one stick. So still we have air pollution there. Then of course cooking, we have seen earlier also the rural sector, this urban sector one. So we see during the cooking we can see a peak. Now this case we compared the biomass and LPG. So biomass we had average microgram per meter cube during a 2-hour period as almost 500. Our standard is 100. Then LPG 150, which is again above the local standard. So both LPG and biomass, you can see the contribution to PM 2.5 here, the air pollution. And another observation, this is basically comparison of this outdoor air quality during the lockdown period last year and 2019 before lockdown. To compare what's really happened, you can see from March last year, where we had the real lockdown, we can see the reduction in PM10 and PM2.5, the top diagram PM10, second PM2.5, where the values in PM10 is 22 microgram per meter cube. Other one is 11, which both are lower than WHO standard. So therefore, although we were not able to do it, COVID was able to control this one, the air pollution. So that indicate probably the most significant source of air pollution is transport sector, the vehicles. But only thing here is, although we gain from the air environment side, air quality, but we lose from the economy side, because with the lockdown also the economy also got affected there. So therefore this particular achievement you can't say sustainable, because although we have a gain in environment, we had lost in the economy. So therefore the task is how to maintain this level of cleaner, relatively clean air with the recovery of the economy. Of course, we are not, in fact, maintaining now. We are going back to the original thing. So we have, in fact, failed to achieve this, the gain through COVID. So air quality management is the last slide. So because of this complexity, we need a comprehensive, holistic approach to solve it. This particular air quality management, usually this type of management plan are developed at national level. So we look at different type of sources, emission characteristic, emission concentration. We have to have monitoring, dispersion modeling, then impact assessment. Then we have to have cost benefit analysis. Then we implement regulation. We have regulations in place, but most of the other informations, other areas are really lacking. So therefore, even we don't have data to even predict the impact of regulation to as a country. I think we are not in a good position. We can't be happy with air quality management, although we have bits and pieces. As an overall system, we are not there yet to control air quality issue. So we have issue in that context. So therefore, bottom line is basically we need the knowledge. Basically, some of the information I shared is one area, but then we have to improve this further. Then knowledge sharing, like what we do now, and there should be much more. And then we have to apply this knowledge to cater for the this air quality management. Basically, we need knowledgeable people, you all together. Then we had to have organization, the government sector, public sector responsive to this case. We say learning organization, and finally, the informed society. The society should be well informed so that we can take appropriate actions with participation of all the stakeholders. So this is the way forward, basically. But as I said earlier, we can't be satisfied with the present circumstances in Sri Lanka. With that, I will conclude. Sorry, I have taken 5 minutes more. Uh, so that's basically the key points I want to highlight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sugatapala. Now it is time for question. You can unmute yourself and raise your questions. We have 10 minutes for question and answer session, or else you can use the chat function so that we can direct it to Dr. Sugatapala for clarification. Now it is
Mr. Nayak, can I pose a question?
please go ahead.
Dr. Sugatapala, particularly when it came for the indoor air quality, was there a comparison between the type of biomass stove they're using, traditional, freestone, or improved stove, for instance, wood gasifier stoves or something like that?
Yeah, there are two things. One thing is the emission factors of the device. Secondly, how it disperses within the environment, the kitchen, for example, the house. So it depends upon not only the cook stove but also the environment of the design. For example, the kitchen. So it's a integrated one. So of course the first one is when you look at this traditional and modern stove, there's a market difference between the pollution. For example, Anagi stove, which is considered to be improved stove, which have been used in Sri Lanka for years now, will have much better performances compared to the freestone and what you call the single lipa or the U-chula. So we have improvement there in terms of combustion efficiency as well as emission. But then, the key issue there is even the emissions are lower. Being biomass, you get it high particulate matter emission PM 2.5 and PM 10, which could contribute to the air quality degradation within the kitchen unless we have good ventilation. So therefore, the example I said earlier, we had two kitchens who were under these emissions, the levels. Both had Anagi stove as well as chimney in the kitchen. So therefore, it's a combination of that. Then of course the modern like what you call the improved biomass, this what you call gasifier stores, and there are other pellet stores and so on. Usually have better environment performances, but always when you have biomass cooking, being a solid combustion, you can't prevent PM emission. So therefore, one of the key there is basically if you use biomass cooking, the ventilation has to be take care of properly. Either we have to cook outside in a separate kitchen or have a good ventilated kitchen with a chimney. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sugatapala. The non-members, may I ask you to introduce yourself before you ask the question?
Damini, can I come in?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Dr. Sugatapal, thank you very much. It's a very informative presentation. Now, question I want to pose is, one of your slides said that outdoor burning is a major contributor to the air quality. Now
Yeah.
in recent times, we have a situation where we have collected everything and gone and put in one place and combust it. Some 800 tons a day at Kerala. Have you got any idea what kind of preventive measures they would have taken to control the contribution to the air pollution from that our waste to energy plant?
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, thank you for, I think it's a timely question there because everyone is now talking about that one, even the political circle. Yeah, in fact, when we develop now, before this particular project, there's two other projects which were, went through a rigorous evaluation in UDA, where I was part of the technical evaluation, where we went into conditions of air quality, this treatment, where the cost, in fact, of this air quality treatment is like 30% of the total cost. So it's a huge treatment has to be there to control that. I'm not very sure because for the other two projects, out of that one has already, I think, left, but there's one is still active where there's a agreement. They abide by around 70 environmental conditions, including air quality thing. But for this particular plant, I was not involved, so I don't know whether there's an agreement or the condition like that. But they are supposed to, because this 36 rupees of this tariff, 1/3 of that is basically for air quality control. So mainly, so they should have that. So, but so therefore, one thing is we have to monitor of this online monitoring. The real-time monitoring has to be there, and also independent, check-in by CEA, especially dioxin and furan would be the key, apart from others too. So therefore, unless we have very stringent air quality control, waste to energy is not like even other biomass cases, because waste to energy, because the complexity in the waste composition, the control of air quality is very difficult, even compared to other things. So therefore, this is where I think authorities should make sure that this plant, are within local or international standards. So unfortunately, I don't have any data on that. But then the importance is there that because it's a huge amount, like as you said, it's like 700 tons per day, and there may be because it might take some time for them to also tune the system to our ways. So therefore, the monitoring has to be there. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question?
So Manjula,
Yeah.
my,
Okay.
Please introduce yourself and ask the question.
sure. I'm Manjula Singh from Wamber. There's a small question, sir. This is a very revealing presentation. Thank you very much that for letting us participate that. And when we look at this data, I see that I'm pretty sure people are familiar with these standards and the impact. But I remember that a little while ago, maybe 5 years ago, when the air quality was related I think there was a study in Kandy area relating the air quality to the, I think, asthma of some of the student populations. That had a greater impact with the population, just to be aware of these adverse effects. Is there a way that we can get some combined project with some of these medical communities to come and correlate this data and make a greater impact to the general public and also to the policy makers? Because this is not a individually affected issue, it is a nationwide issue. So if we get awareness about this public health issue, I think it will have a greater impact in people's mind. That is a very humble suggestion.
That's correct. Thank you, Dr. Manjula. It's an important aspect. In fact, presently, Ministry of Environment is they develop at present India Quality Guideline, which the committee also include professionals, medical professionals, Dr. Inoka from Ministry of Health, as well as few others who contribute to that. And one of the issue we found, as you said, is this lack of data and information regarding the health impact, especially, and because that's one of the I think major message we can carry to the public when you talk about the health, the impact on the health through air pollution. That will be the, I think, key message we can send to the public. So all the others. So therefore, India Quality Guideline basically identify this gap. And I think there would be future opportunities for all these, I think, experts to get involved in these, because with the guideline, the requirement for this type of studies have been highly recommended. So presently there are few medical professionals, they do this type of thing. One Dr. Sumal Nandasena, he has been doing this one for some time. There are a lot of publication also there, but then we can of course improve further. So this type of studies also happen in medical field too, but then the connectivity to the other fields, still we see a gap. So therefore I think it's multidisciplinary nature research are required to cater for this gaps. So it's a good idea. I think it will happen in the future, because this India polity is one of the key highlight in the National Environment Action Plan too. And I think the Ministry of Environment will take some actions, immediate actions to start this type of maybe studies and activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sutapala. Maybe we can entertain just one last question. Before that, little announcement. Thank you very much. We have 30 participants today. Now this is a regular event. We have every fortnight, same day, Saturday at 8:30 in the night. We have a presentation of this nature. This is a series of webinars, and also this is the inaugural presentation. So you are welcome to join. So every fortnight we will have a session like this, and also as I requested at the beginning, you are most welcome to get the membership of our forum, SCP Forum. So then the last question.
Mr. Zenanak, Karu, can I ask a question if you have time?
Please introduce.
Yeah, I am Parakrama from Peradeniya.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Sugatapal. It was a very nice presentation, very informative. Just one question now regarding that LPG gas and the comparison between biomass. Now you have a peak during the LPG gas burning as well. But I thought like LPG should not emit any particles. Was it soot or what was did you find what was the source of that peak?
Yeah, so what we found was basically it's like the kind of the partial burning, and also maybe kind of a droplet. So maybe also soot. So it's not, because we didn't expect also PM 2.5 to come with LPG.
Maybe
it's gaseous. So what we found basically, like then we went to, but we couldn't do a chemical analysis to identify this different composition there. But then we speculated that it's linked to maybe partial burning and maybe some droplets or something like that coming out of that, like even maybe cooking, like not related to the LPG alone.
Yeah.
It also linked to maybe the cooking this material. Yes, yeah. But then you can see peak coming there, so it should be linked to that activity, but not alone the combustion.
From the gas, yeah. Okay, but
yes.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Sugatapala. On behalf of the CP Forum, I would like to thank Dr. Sugatapala for accepting our invitation to make this inaugural presentation. I think you have set the tone for this series. It's a very good informative presentation. Thank you very much. So the others, I will invite you to, and also you can disseminate this information to others who are interested in this kind of the subjects. So it will be a regular event bi-weekly. Thank you very much, and the members are kindly requested to remain to have our usual the business meeting, the board meeting. Then not only the directors, all the other members who are present are kindly requested to remain. And good night for others, our guests who have joined us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Okay, I think we have, let's see, we have Namis, we have Mr. Parakto Jayasinghe, Ajit, Chandima, Chinta, Nimal, Professor Karu, Mr. Manoratna, and Mr. Senapiris. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I had to remove some of them. I think they have kept their machines on. Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah,
Yes, can hear.
Yes, Mr.
yeah. Any feedback for the presentation today?
It was very good. I think I'm wondering actually whether we are being a bit unfair in
Yeah.
not allowing a bit more time for questions.
Yeah.
Because when you get a subject like that, well, there'll be a whole heap of questions to come.
Yeah.
That is one thing we might have to worry about.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we will have more time for question and answers next time.
I think so.
Why don't we start at 8 o'clock and then a little more time for the questions?
Yeah.
I also felt so. So
Yeah, okay. And also, should we have two, the two meetings, one for the webinar and one for our regular meeting, without having it in one, with one meeting?
No, that might not be a good idea because people have to allocate time now. So when we are saying once in 2 weeks, we have this. So even if we have spent a little more time in one sitting, that might be more productive and people.
What I said, we can limit this presentation to maybe, including the question and answer, maybe 45 minutes. 45 minutes for the webinar or the presentation, then maybe another 45 minutes for our the usual business. One goes, back to back, but two different meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah, because other, anyway, let's even next time, we can try this. I think now, I think it is a good start. Maybe one of our members could be the volunteer for the next presentation. Who would like to?
Gamini, it might be a good idea to prepare some kind of theme so that it will be we can select the kind of topics that should be addressed rather than, that way you might move forward in a logical manner.
Yeah, I think the last time when we discussed this matter, I think Nimal suggested, the air, water, and all that. Maybe if someone could say look into that aspect of the water quality or.
Gamini, I have a feeling, I don't know whether Professor Parakto will agree. Another area in there is this dioxin and furans, and where there are a lot of activities from us emitting these type of toxic gases. Professor Parakram was involved in this the project at the ministry regarding this particular area. If he can make a presentation, I think that's another area related to air. So we can cover that also and then go to water. I don't know, Professor Parakram, what do you feel about it?
That's fine. That's fine. We can stay with air.
Yeah, if you want, actually, I don't know whether we have the permission to use those data that we gathered for this healthcare sector. Because recently also we calculated the emission, at least for the healthcare waste management, from healthcare waste management, this dioxin furan emission. But previously, maybe I have some information because after that Mr. Senapiris mentioned project, we also did some research on the total emissions from Sri Lanka. If you want, actually, I can do a presentation with those data.
And Professor Karu, maybe on the first we can check with them whether whether we can use the recent data what we have gathered.
Yeah.
So if
my personal feeling is they should not actually disagree because this is important for the people.
Yes,
the people should realize the gravity of it.
No, that's the private problem. The information must flow. In fact, yeah.
No, yeah, that's right. Now, what Professor Karu is telling now, this report is not yet, the accepted. Then the make it a public document. But we are going to have a meeting with them on the 1st of say March 1st, and we will get their permission.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If not, so maybe Professor Karu could say, his previous report, the previous study he has done based on.
So yeah, compared to that one, actually there are some improvement also. Maybe that is also something probably we can be happy about.
Yeah.
I think, Mr. Senanayaka, we have to now today the air quality is one of the serious issues we are facing, not because of one reason. There are multiple reasons. I think it's better to give the priority and or give more time for this one discussion. Even not only one session. I think 2 or 3 sessions from different perspectives. Maybe like if we can next time, if we can get around a person like Dr. Suravira, Inoka Suravira, if we can discuss with her and tell her to do a presentation with about the human impacts. So that is, of course, I believe would be ideal for the time being. So how do the others feel about it?
Yeah, actually, we don't have to limit the number of presentations on any particular thing. And like you said, air quality is one of the these things. And also, I must also remind you not to forget the elephant in the room, Norochore. You see, the recent NARA also came up with this thing saying that they have polluted the entirety of the sea in that area. And this unfortunately never get published enough.
Yeah. In fact, I wanted to ask that question from Dr. Sugatapala, but I thought, we should, because of the limited time, the power, the power plant, power plants and also the industry.
Actually, yeah, it's a shame actually, because you can manage if you want, because there are in other countries you have these power plants even very close to cities. But with a proper air pollution control, it should not be a problem. But unfortunately, they don't do that.
And also, Karu, the problem is they are hiding facts now.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Because I remember the same two problems like this Kandalama and then this one. There was huge opposition for both projects. But see how Kandalama manage it and then what they are doing now.
No,
okay.
So let's
one important question. Yeah. I wanted to ask, I think, Dr. Sudapala, but how is this, there's deforestation in the country everywhere, how it is actually affecting air quality is a question actually, but we didn't have time. That may be also, I don't know how it is actually having impact on the dust emissions and all that. That's another area. Nobody has actually done any research. It's kept, I think undercover, like.
Now the power plants, of course, they are having some certain control. Whether it's perfectly working or not is another question. But you can remember the very recent photographs which I uploaded to the web. The Muturajavela, the garbage heap. Again, it was fired very recently. And then the Katunayaka Seeduwa one, again, there was a serious fire. Time to time, especially because of the hot environment these days, there are time to time they are firing. And again, small pieces of waste firing, especially plastic burning, is happening around the Muturajal area. So those impacts, of course, nobody has even evaluated. Especially I can remember when I was coming down from Colombo, I saw the plume is how the plume is moving. And then I captured this one and I uploaded this one to my website, Facebook page. So these are actually severe things. Nobody was caring about it.
So
Yes.
my suggestion, Gamini, is to ask Professor Parakama to do the next presentation and then invite Inoka Suravira to probably then talk about the health impacts covering both the normal air quality and then even things like dioxin and furans and all those things.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, Professor Karu, then I think, say, Chandima could prepare a similar flyer what you have prepared for this presentation. So, if you could give some inputs, some points for her to prepare, and also
Mrs. Enanaika, sorry, there is one issue actually. This is going to be on the 13th.
this is going to be on the 13th. No, not 13th. Not 13th.
In 2 weeks mean?
2 weeks time. Yeah.
That will be 13th. Unfortunately, I will be out actually on the 13th.
13th you will,
If it is 14th, that will be okay. I don't know, but normally we have it on Saturday.
So better to have it on a fixed
Yeah.
day time so that people will get
Yeah,
used
yeah.
to it. You are not available on the 13th, no?
13th, I will not. So if possible, I can make it in maybe 1 month time, 4 weeks time.
4 weeks time, no? So then can we, maybe the air quality, can someone else?
Then shall we try Dr. Suravira?
Health impact.
Yeah, health impact.
Yeah. Or Dr. Sumal. Dr. Sumal is also, Professor Dr. Sugatapal has also mentioned, he's doing a lot of research actually in air quality side.
Dr.
So one of them will be fine. He's from the ministry. Dr. Inoka knows.
Dr. Inoka knows. Okay.
Either both of them together. What we need is a very informative session. So even if they are okay, they can both together. They can have a very effective one rather than doing one.
Okay. Okay. What we will do, we will actually we are meeting Dr. Inoka on Monday. So we will check with her. Says if in case if she is not available on this particular day, like Professor Karu on the 13th, what is our next option? Who can do a presentation if Dr. Inoka is also not available?
Dr. Inoka, Dr. Sumal, both of them are not available. Then we have to find. Also, Professor Mahanama is doing in related to this air quality actually.
Maybe different aspects we can take.
Yeah.
As Nimal suggested. Any one of our members, anyone who can, Nimal?
Sorry. Yeah, if nobody is there, then I will take it. Don't worry.
Okay, then let's try Inoka, Dr. Inoka and Dr. Sumal first. If they are not available, then the Nimal will. Then what will be the topic, Nimal?
Again, I will take it as do you want me to take the air quality or something else?
Nimal, I think you should take air quality and see the controls. You see the what you call value of our regulations and monitoring.
Yes.
Of it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I will couple with this some of the case studies, some of the very old case studies, but still valid. I will take those and I will couple it and do the presentation.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
First try Dr. Inoka and Dr. Sumal, and then.
Okay. 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 So that's it. And also as Mano requests, I think we can upload this presentation and the recording to the website. Yeah. We will have a separate place where we can have these things. Yeah.
Maybe Mr. Zenaraka, we should ask Dr. Sugatapal before we upload it, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
In the meantime, Mr. Zenaraka, can't we do a, now, like, let's say now here we have Professor Karnaratna Karu is there, and Chinta has already left, I think, because there are Chinta is there. Right, right. Now, if we can get, if we can ask them to get some students, because there are some students available, they would like to get their knowledge up, updated also with this, and then the recording, if we recording and the presentation, if we can share with them, and to write a kind of a paper, a very short paper, and keep as a recording for us. How would you feel?
Yes, today 6 students were attended. For
Right.
the, yes, today Green Tech 24 students and other students actually who are, I supervised them for their finally research.
Then
I asked them to attend.
actually we can take this one as part of the assignment as well.
Okay, for the Green Tech 20 students, yes.
Yeah. Also, I think if Chandima can do this little early and publish it, we can send it to IPSL membership also, so that there are about 500 people, at least maybe even 50 people join. That's good thing, because they are also interested in environment-related activities. So we can do that. I mean, it's also very close to SCP forum. So we can do that also. And maybe little by little we'll give more publicity.
Yeah, I think this is a good way of the getting the publicity, no? I mean, people.
Yes.
Well, they get to know us too.
Yeah, that's right. So I think it has to be a regular event.
Yeah.
Fixed day, fixed time. Okay. So then, Sena, you suggested something. Can we? Can you explain?
Is about the APRSCP or the other one?
No, the other one.
Right. I think Nimal may be knowing already. The Earth Day, I think they have, declared, they have given the theme this time, I think, let's fix our Earth or something. I can't remember the exact wording. And we can organize a webinar on 22nd April or any closer day, and we can include in their program. So they will give publicity through their website. I think Nimal knows better than me, and he's involved in Earth Day and Environment Day websites and all that.
Yeah.
So we can probably organize the webinar now itself, and then probably I mean fix our name also into the calendar as well.
Okay.
This time did they publish the theme?
Yeah, I think let's fix the Earth or something like that.
Okay. Then the Nimal, we had a discussion with BOI last time. They wanted us to help with their, the two matters, the sustainable biomass supply and the trigeneration. Thereafter, I think the Chandima also has checked with the Forest Department and some other organization. We wanted to have another meeting in between with BOI, but he was not available. We will talk to them again and we will follow this up.
Yeah.
Then the Nimal, the next one, your suggestion.
Actually, Gamini, I couldn't take it up and do something because of several reasons. One thing was actually I couldn't get hold of the person. Definitely by next meeting I will have something.
Please.
I have already drafted what I have to discuss with him. With his discussion, with the discussion with him, I will come up with the outcome by next meeting.
From next meeting onward, we will have a proper agenda prepared in advance. but this time we were trying to get this webinar organized. Yeah. So can you say 45 minutes for the webinar, another 45 minutes for our meeting? Say
Yes, okay.
starting at 8 o'clock, 8 to
Yeah.
8:45, then 9:30 we can finish everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Any other matters?
Then I think, Gamini, regarding the APRSCP,
Yes.
they have sent me an info note, which I will actually circulate. I'll send it to Chandima and she can also circulate to everybody. I have sent the names of all the SCP members, SCP forum members, for them to send invitations because they are having the regional roundtable in webisodes, 4 episodes. That is from, I think, 20th April, somewhere there in April, late April. Every week, I think every Tuesday or Thursday, 4 days. So probably all members will get a direct invitation to participate. Those who can, I think it will be good. In addition to that, I'll be asking others also to participate because I believe it's a possibility. I think we discussed last time that to 2022, that next year, November, the 16th regional roundtable, we might, actually we were asked to do it earlier, but then most probably we'll be asked to do it next year. So if that is the situation, we have to start thinking. In fact, I have spoken to Professor Parakram and Nimal. Then we will try to actually have a Zoom and discuss how to move forward. And I think one important thing is we have to give them some sort of a note, maybe an email saying that Sri Lanka is interested in hosting. Then they will select among those who have already informed them about their interest. Most probably we might get it. So that is the situation regarding APR-SCP. Only thing is, if it happens, it's quite a big task. Because one thing is the funding, and then of course there are other involvements, organizing and all that. So assuming next year will be better, Corona will be, somewhat restrained. We are hoping to have a physical meeting. If it's a physical meeting, the cost will be higher, but if it's a virtual meeting, it will be, less costly. But let's hope for whatever it is, we'll be prepared.
Okay, I think committee, the committee, I think should meet remotely and go into detail, I think, no?
Yes, we'll have some meeting probably next week,
soon,
and then maybe discuss this.
Okay. Any other matter?
Mr. Ranayaka, we had some financial concerns also about that to get the registration fees for 2-3 years at least for our members. I think, do we need to discuss that also?
Yeah, I think the Mano will give us an update. Mano,
good evening, sir. Actually, maybe I am starting from my contribution next Monday. I will put 2,000 into my account, then the directors will follow. That, and then I think that we have some collection for at least for time being. Then we will consider finding 4 few members to get the contribution, maybe as a annual membership or life membership. So then the condition will be a little bit less strained. Now the situation is a little bit.
So Mano, our immediate commitment for web hosting and the LK domain registry what is the
That
situation?
is completed. That is completed due to our generous contribution from engineer, our
Mr. Yeah, Mr. Senapiri,
So, yeah. If, I have to very thankful for his contribution, timely contribution, and then within maybe 2 weeks, that the contributions are coming to that for the temporary adjustment.
If you could send a reminder to all members, giving a date, the date before which when we can make our contribution.
Yeah, tomorrow I can circulate that mail.
Yeah.
Also better if can put in the WhatsApp group also the account number and the bank so that they can transfer online.
Yeah,
Because
again I can circulate it. Okay.
I will get life membership.
Right. You are going to convert. Right. Okay.
Tomorrow I will transfer online.
Yeah, I think, madam, you have contributed maybe for the next year also. So we will get the decision to reduce that, no, or continue that, because
no, if she is willing to become a life member, then you can the deduct the payment she has already paid and get the balance. Get the balance.
So yeah.
Pay to the life member. Yeah.
So
I think last year, no, I registered for 2020, not 2021.
you have given me. I have the figures. You have given me 2002. Yeah. 2 times. Maybe 2 times means that means you are covering 21 also.
Anyway,
I have to see. Maybe few months from 22 also. Few months from 22 also. But again, we will think about that. With talking to.
Yes, please inform me the balance, then I will get the life membership.
I have to go to.
Mano, I think your line is breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think Ajit, are you? Where are you now?
Now from Monday, I'm taking over with the university.
Okay. Okay. So congratulations, Ajit. So, but
thank you very much, Mr. Nanaga.
I think you can bring more now. You can also bring your students.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
Ajit is moving to OLS.
Yeah, we have to get a small discussion with document, financial document. Yeah.
Mr. Piris, I will be taking over new position at Uvavelas University as a senior lecturer.
Right.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. I think it's a good start. I think this webinar definitely will give us some, I think, the good contacts and the network so that we can increase the membership. Okay, so with that, thank you very much, and see you after 2 weeks. Chandima, can you also have a little, I mean, not a say very elaborate minute, but just inform what we discuss and agree.
Okay, I can do, but the thing is, today my connection was not good, sir. So I couldn't hear some things.
Okay.
But
okay, I will.
Following the things I have, I will write it, and you can add.
Okay, fine. That's good enough. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you,
Okay.
Chandima. That's okay. Okay, then good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night. Good night, Mr. Piris.
Nilakanta? Nilakanta? Nilakanta?
Mr. Senanayaka?
Nilakanta? Nilakanta? Hello? Nilakanta?